Hello, not one, not two, but three of these I made this week because I'm going through a bit of a fabric identity crisis at the moment, and I had a massive purge in my wardrobe and threw out a lot of t-shirts and tops, but now I just can't decide what kind of fabric I do actually like. Hello, my name's Carole, this is my sewing room and welcome. So this is #Friday Sews, so I'm going to chat to you about what I've been sewing this week, what I'm going to sew next week potentially, and a little bit about life, including the weekend. So as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm actually going through a bit of a fabric identity crisis on what fabrics I like, because I had a look in my wardrobe, looking through all my t-shirts and tops for spring. I'm thinking ahead to spring. I'm being positive. I saw some crocuses yesterday, so spring's on the way. But I just don't like the fabrics that I used to like. I've been online looking for fabrics. Particularly I was looking for viscose jerseys to replace a lot of my viscose jerseys, t-shirts and tops. I just can't find anything that I like anymore. Now, I don't know if that's me and the way I feel and the way I'm changing, but I used to go for very bold, big, flowery stuff. I don't want to stand out like that anymore. So a lot of those have gone. So I'm left with a few pieces that I absolutely love, but I've got to build up that stash again. So that is why I got out my favourite New Look 6246. I'm not sure if you can get this pattern anymore, but I know a lot of us have it. I used to make this t-shirt a lot, and I used to make that a lot. Now the pattern is cut to a size 8, and I'm not a size 8 anymore. So I have altered it, and I did it with success actually. Very simple alterations, but it's worked. Whatever I've done is worked. I will say it's with viscose jersey it's worked. Now whether it will work with a more stable cotton jersey, I'm not so sure. So let me show you the first one I made. So this was a bit I had left over from a Walmart bundle, which I actually made a yoga top with, but it's a really lovely it's kind of whitey grey. Absolutely love this, feels beautiful. So I went ahead, made some changes to the pattern and made this up to see what it was like, and actually I absolutely love it. I did do quite a deep hem because I thought it looked a bit more stylish. Now this pattern, I stopped making it for a long time because the sleeve is very capped. So I've actually changed that and made it longer. But the other changes I made, the neckline is quite wide, so I always kind of tuck it in a little bit, and I'll show you in a minute. But what I've also done is drop the armholes down by 1 centimetre. I found as I'm a sort of an E cup, an FBA didn't work for me, or going up a size didn't work for me. All I need to do really is just bring down this armholes because they were sort of choking me. So just by dropping them down 1 centimetre has made the most enormous difference, and this fits me really nicely. It's not perfect, we've still got a line here and there. You're going to, aren't you? But so what I do is I get the sleeve piece. As you can see, because I wanted it longer, I've actually roughly, I know where to cut it, I'll just cut it along and along there to take out the cap version. But I make a cut between the notches and the dots, and I've inserted a piece of just tracing paper. Now this tracing paper is wonderful because it's got the 5 centimetre squares, so you can judge a centimetre so easily. So I did that on the sleeve, and because obviously you've made that sleeve head longer, the main piece is going to be longer. So same thing between the notch and the dots, I've inserted 1 centimetre. So this is on the front. Now also, can you see where I've done that little tuck there? Again, that's by 1 centimetre. I split it and I kind of fold it in on itself. So that is bringing this bit in a bit so it doesn't fall off my shoulders. So you've done the sleeve, you've done the front, you've got to make everything balanced, haven't you? So I've also put the centimetre in the back, again around the same place. That has made this, obviously it makes the sleeves slightly wider, but it just drops it down, and as I said, it really works. So the sleeves used to be quite capped and short there. I don't like that. I don't like it where it ends there, so I made them longer. I was so happy with that. I then went through my stash and I found some other fabrics. So this is where my fabric problem lies. I had a piece of viscose jersey which was very flowery, and actually I like it, but it wasn't kind of the best fabric. And then I had another piece of viscose jersey which is lovely, and it's one of those pieces that you're saving for something special, like a dress or something like that. And I thought, no, that's ridiculous, because I don't wear dresses. Why am I saving my best bits of fabric for something special when I could wear those special things during the day? So let me show you the other two. So this is the one that I had that I wasn't 100% keen on, but actually it's going to be beautiful for spring. I made it the sort of elbow length version because I find that nice. Obviously cover stitch the hem. Really pleased with that. But the best bit of fabric. Now, I haven't done the binding on this, so please, Rachael, French seams, don't look, but I haven't done that yet. This was what I was keeping for special. Crazy. I've made it into a top, and I know I'm going to wear it, and I'm going to feel special when I wear it, because I'm going to get lots of use out of it rather than keeping it for something like a dress. Now, why did I make the same pattern? Do I feel guilty about it? No, I don't, because I was in my car driving back from orchestra last week, and I listened to, very often, TED Talks. So TED Talks are like podcasts or on YouTube or over the radio, and it's just people talking, say 5-10 minutes about a particular subject. And the subject was, is it bad that we rewatch the same television programs all the time, or we like to binge watch the same thing we may have seen before? And I thought, oh, I know, they're going to tell us off for doing the same things all the time or reading the same books. But it was absolutely fascinating, because he said when we do something that we've done before, like read a book or watch a television program we've watched before, it relieves anxiety, it puts us back into our comfort zone, we're relaxed, we know what we're doing, and it's really good for you. So I thought I would apply that to my sewing. And exactly, that pattern, I knew what I was doing, I could relax into the project, I knew it was going to work. And yeah, that's made me feel not so guilty about every now and again sewing a pattern I really know well. And I know a lot of you out there feel exactly the same. So I don't feel guilty that I've just sewn 3 things of the same patterns, because I had a good time doing it. So from the easy sewing to the difficult sewing, and I have to say I did this first before I did those t-shirts. So this was out of my subscription box, the Fat Quarter subscription box that I buy locally from my sewing box in Dorset. They had the most amazing fat quarters in it, and a pattern to do this crossbody bag. Now I've decided something. I'm going to put the full stop under something. I love making bags like this, lined bags, but what I've decided, I am no longer going to do the ones that have the binding inside like that. That's it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to do the ones with a lining that I've done myself and avoid doing this, because whilst this bag is pretty on the outside, it is horrendous inside. Now I know not many people actually show you the quality of their binding inside, so I'm going to show you mine. It's just a mess, isn't it? It's just a mess, and I know you don't see it, but I just don't like that finish. There are people, and I'm going to say Adam Sews, who does this incredibly well at a vast quantity, but I just don't think I've got the patience, and it makes me cross, and I actually don't like the look of it inside a bag. For me, I think it creates edges where things are going to drop down and get stuck. So anyway, let's put it back out to the bright side again. I loved making this, apart from that. I mean, it was all going so swimmingly. The only thing I would say, I didn't read the instructions properly, and I needed some extra clips and things, so I started the project and then had to finish it later. So I managed to find a little zip tie from Amazon, a set of zip ties. Got my daisy. I am really pleased with it. It's got a just one pocket in there, but I have to say I've done sort of my own version of this with the lining, where you bag out the lining and just put it back in, and I much prefer that. Did any of you spot the mistake? So this is going to have to be my front, because I put the tree upside down on the other way. Now, I mean, you probably wouldn't spot that, but I know. So I'm going to have to wear it a certain way. But, oh gosh, it goes really well with my jumper. So that was my bag, but full stop. I'm not doing things with binding like that anymore, because I just don't enjoy it. I find it a real battle to try and work all those things in the machine. I just don't enjoy it. So that is it, no more. So let me talk to you about my friend Izzy over at Dizzy Quilts and Sews. A lot of you already know her. She's a very talented quilter, sewist. She sews to precision. She loves getting things just right. We of course did. Now if you can see this is the Evanston Vest that we made in a collab this week, and thank you so much for everybody that watched that and enjoyed it. I'm not going to say any more about it, because if you haven't seen the videos then you need to see them, so check ours out. But it's living in my sewing room. This little layer now is going to be on my sewing chair and live in here for when I just want a bit of warmth. So go back to Izzy. She put out, now last year she did a quilt along series, Quilt As You Go series. I didn't take part in that because I had so many other projects, and I will say quilting doesn't really interest me. I love doing the panels, but as for doing all that batting and everything, but I thought, come on, give this a go this year, because she's doing improv quilting. So I'll put a link to the two videos actually, so the intro one and the first one she did last week. So I thought I'll have a go, because it's using scraps and I have mountains of scraps. I only had one bit of green that I could use as a base, but I got lots of scraps. So this is my version. Now obviously it was wonky crosses. I did have fun doing it. It's not brilliant, but it was fun. You can see what I was trying to go for, the kind of the off-center cross. So that is my one little panel. I may do another the same, because she's doing two the same, so I may do another one, but I did have fun doing that this week. And there's nothing better than sometimes, if you've done something like this, just playing with some fabric. I will say though, I sent a message to Izzy saying, I really struggle with quilting rulers, working out which way, and very often I've got them back to front or upside down or round about, and I spend a lot of time kind of shifting it around. I wish there was a video out there on how to use quilting rulers properly, because I would watch that. So yeah, go and check out that video and her channel. It's just a fun thing to do. But what am I going to be sewing next week? Well, on Saturday I'm going to a sewing social local to me. It's run by the lovely Carole from Rooted Fabrics. She's actually based in the same town as I am. She designs her own fabrics, but she runs this sewing social. So I'm going to take along with me a pair of trousers to make, I think. I've only ever taken craft projects to these socials before, because I didn't want to take the overlocker as well, but I think I will. I'm very conscious of the fact that I haven't got many trousers for spring. So last year, maybe even the year before, I made this one, Simplicity 9471, these cargo trousers, and they're obviously still in fashion, so I'm going to give that another go. I'm not sure I like it in this colour yet, but that's fine. I can always dye it if I don't like it. But I've got this stretch twill fabric. I think it's stretch twill, or maybe it's slight stretch denim. I'm not sure. So although this doesn't call for stretch, because it is quite tight in places, and it has a bit of give, not too much stretch, I'm hoping that will work. So I may try that on Saturday when I'm there. If not, I will just do craft projects. I'll take options. That's what I like about sewing socials. I take options. So if I actually don't feel I want to do something, or I've got to concentrate too much, then I'll just do a fun little craft project instead. Last weekend we went up to see my son and obviously my granddaughter, who's gorgeous, getting even more gorgeous by the day, and she's 18 months old now, so we had lots of fun with her. You know when a member of your family asks you if you can mend something? Well, my son said he's got a very heavy coat, and he said, oh, the zip's broken on the bottom. Sure enough, the zip was sort of torn away from the lining. I'll put a picture in. I said, well, yeah, if you've got a sewing stuff, I'll try and mend that for you. Oh, I've got a sewing kit, he said. And you know when someone presents you with something that looks like this? You know what I mean. It's a sewing kit, but it's not a sewing kit for sewists. And actually, it's not a sewing kit for beginners either. It can sew a button on, but as for sewing a very heavy zip into lining with that awful cotton you get, and those needles that bend, I did the best I could, and it's back in and it does work. But I know that you know that feeling when someone says they've got a sewing kit and then they present you with something like that. Buttons only, don't you agree? I've also been working this week on a secret project for a couple of weeks' time when we go to Disney. So my embroidery machine has been going full pelt on this secret project that I will show you eventually, but I don't want to spoil a birthday surprise. My grandson came over the other day and he's got an orange bird. Now this orange bird came from Epcot when we visited last year for the food festival. It's this really cool toy where it's an orange and then you unpop it and it unfolds out into a bird. And he loves this thing. He's always asking for me to print off some colouring pages, and you can actually get a colouring page for him to colour in this orange bird, and he's really good at it and he absolutely loves it. So I thought, I wonder if there's an embroidery design out there, and there was. From Etsy. It was really good. I will say I've moaned about Etsy designs before, but this one was spot on. So I bought a cheap little hoodie and I put it on for him yesterday, and oh my goodness, he loves it. Now I can share the photo with you because my daughter's on Instagram and she puts the photos up there, so you might have already seen it on my Instagram page, but I will put the picture in there because that face, that makes sewing worthwhile, doesn't it? I'm so happy he loves that. Now of course I've got to do something for the other grandson, but he's being fickle on what he wants to put on this hoodie I bought for him, so probably show that next week. So next week will be my fabric wheel video for the results of this wishy-washy fabric here. I'm really pleased. I will probably put the video out on Sunday because I just can't wait for you to see it. So I will do that. That's the fabric wheel of fate, which I just love doing. I just need to be told what to do sometimes. The other thing I may do next week is I have cut out a mile end sweater. Now I made this last year, I think maybe the end of the year before, in a French terry that I liked, but it was very bright. It was butterflies and I felt it was too much on me. But the other thing about it was too short. It was annoying. It was just above I'm short by the way, but it was just above the jeans belt and I felt I was pulling it down all the time. So I thought I'd make it again, but I've lengthened it. It's all cut out, ready to go. And I do feel a bit naughty because I have had this fabric before in a darker colour. This was the Andrea's Beyond the Pink Door Funfetti fabric. Then I ordered this blue for my daughter. I know, I hope she doesn't watch this. I've just decided, because she hasn't come to me to make her any sweatshirts or anything, I'm going to use it myself and make the mile end sweater from it. So that is all cut out, and as I said, I've lengthened the front pieces, so I will report back to you next week on how that's gone, because it is, and I know a lot of people have said it is a little bit too short. So hopefully that will come out better than the other one, because I now have thrifted the other one. I'll see if I can find a photo of it, but I liked it at the time, but I think as it was washed it almost got shorter and shorter. Well, that's it for me this week. Join me on my fabric wheel. Check out the Evanston video if you haven't. Sounds like I'm nagging you. and I very much look forward to seeing you next week. I hope somebody wants me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Lots of sewing and lots of sewing the week ahead, and let's all look forward to spring. Happy sewing, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.